Welcome back, Pokemon trainers. Professor Chaz here. The lab coat's on back order, and it's time for this week's Pokemon TCG live online match. What we're doing this week is continuing our tradition of... not tradition... our theme. Welcome back, Pokemon trainers. Professor Chaz here. The lab coat's on back order, and it's time for this week's Pokemon TCG live online match. Today what we're doing is continuing the theme of taking a look at the Break evolutions from the new Steam Siege expansion, and this week we're going to focus on, I think it was the first one that I got out of a random booster pack online when I did my own style of pre-release sort of a tournament thing. It is going to be the Clawitzer BREAK using the lock-on attack. Let's maximize my view here. We'll see what I've assembled for the deck for this week. First of all, this is going to be not the main attacker, but one of the main highlights in the deck. Clawitzer BREAK, a water type of course. For one energy of any type, Lock-On says, the defending Pokemon can't retreat during your opponent's next turn. During your next turn, any damage done to that Pokemon by attacks is increased by 120 after weakness and resistance. So whatever you hit it with, 120 more damage added on top of that, if you can successfully use Lock-On and secure them in the active spot. So I've got 2 Clawitzer BREAK in the deck. I'm going to go with 3 of the Clawitzer from the Steam Siege expansion. The ability Mega Boost. Once during your turn before your attack, you may attach a special energy card from your hand to one of your Mega Evolution Pokémon. So that's not going to count towards your 1 energy from hand per turn restriction. It's going to allow you to put 1 from hand and then a second one thanks to that ability. And Crab Hammer, 60 damage for water and 2 colorless. I might be using some attacks of Clawitzer, but more often than not, you're going to see it's mostly just going to be on the bench using the Mega Boost and then switching into the active spot, Lock On, see if I can rotate it back out for something else, and kind of a revolving door sort of a thing. So I got 3 of the Clawitzer and 3 of the basic Clauncher with double pincers, flip 2 coins, 10 damage times the number of heads. You're not likely going to see Clauncher launch any attacks. Now, that's going to be the sort of, not really the core of the deck, I guess. Everything in the deck this week's going to sort of work in synergy with one another, but that is the Clawitzer BREAK line. And I wasn't sure what I should go with because I want to use the ability of Mega Boost. So I thought, let's put a Mega Evolution in the deck. But I thought, why not just go for a couple different options and see if I can get either one or maybe both to play out in the match. So we'll take a look first at Sceptile. I got Sceptile-EX. 2 of these in the deck. We have Sleep Poison, which does 10 damage. Unseen Claw does 60 plus. If the opponent has a special condition, we do 70 more. But since I did have a Sceptile-EX deck that I made a while back. It was focusing on using Ariados from the bench to poison the target, and Sceptile-EX immediately doing that 130 damage total. But since we are focusing more on the Mega Evolutions thanks to the Mega Boost ability, we're going to pay more attention to Mega Sceptile-EX. With a Grass and Colorless energy attached, Jagged Saber does 100. You may attach up to 2 Grass energy cards from your hand to your bench Pokemon in any way you like. If you attach energy to a Pokemon in this way, heal all damage from that Pokemon. A nice way to get a full heal on your team while getting some damage off and energy acceleration as well, so that's not very bad. It also has the Theta Stop ancient trait, prevent all effects of your opponent's Pokemon's abilities done to this Pokemon. So Giant Water Shuriken from Greninja, no thank you, it's going to prevent that from happening. And for the other side, now I will say, probably using the Mega Boost of Clawitzer, this idea with Mega Altaria is going to be a little bit more, I guess, useful, so I should probably have focused on just the Altaria as the Mega, but I'll explain why in a moment. First of all, the basic Altaria-EX is a colorless type. Powerful Gain does 30 plus. If this Pokemon was healed during this turn, 60 more damage and heal 30 more from this Pokemon. Not bad. Shining Wind does 80 for 3 colorless energy. During your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon has no weaknesses. But we are going to focus more on, of course, the Mega Evolutions of Mega Altaria-EX. It becomes a Fairy type. And for a Fairy and 2 colorless, Mist Purge does 100 plus. If this Pokemon has any special energy attached to it, this does 30 more damage and heal 30 from each of your Pokemon. So since the Mega Booster, is it Mega Booster? Since that allows you to attach a special energy from hand to your Pokemon or your Mega Evolution Pokemon, that's going to provide that special energy that Mega Altaria needs to get that extra damage plus that healing. So as I say, I probably could have just gone with a few, like another couple, either Altaria-EX or Mega Altaria-EX to make better use of the Mega Boost, but we'll go with the healing possibility of Mega Sceptile-EX as well. That is going to be 14 Pokemon in the deck. I'm going to scroll down to the energy. Let's take a look at the basic energy first of all. I got 2 basic Fairy, 4 basic Grass, 2 basic Water. I've got more Grass than the other types because of the Jagged Saber of Mega Sceptile. I want to have some basic Grass energy in hand to have options to attach those to the bench Pokemon for the healing purposes. But since this is going to focus on a lot of special energy being attached with the Mega Boost, I do have 2 Herbal Energy, That is... So I just realized now, this isn't a standard deck, at least when the new format rotates in, because this is from the Furious Fist expansion, so therefore, I should have put Zero Sick in this. You know what? I'm going to do an update, a little bit of a live update to this deck, as you'll see in a moment. But anyway, Purple Energy can only be attached to Grass Pokemon. When you attach it from hand to a Grass Pokemon, you heal 30 damage from that Pokemon. So that's some healing options for the Mega Sceptile-EX. I've got 2 Wonder Energy from Primal Clash. That is legal in Standard. It can only be attached to Fairy Pokemon, such as Mega Altaria-EX. Prevent all effects of your opponent's attacks except damage done to the Fairy Pokemon that card is attached to. So, things like losing energy, poison, paralysis. Mega Altaria will be immune to all that with that Wonder Energy attached. And for just a couple more special energy options, I got 2 double colorless in here. The Mega Altaria requires a Fairy and 2 colorless to be able to attack. So in a single turn, I can use the Mega Boost to attach one of those special energies and use like my usual 1 energy per turn to place the other one. Suddenly Mega Altaria-EX will be fully powered up. That is going to be 14 energy cards in the deck. What do I want to take out to put in Zero Sick? One sec here. I'm going to take out the special charge, I think. I was going to try that to see if it worked out, but I don't really think I need that, so I will remove that from the deck. And let's grab Zero Sick. The reason I want to get Zero Sick is for the option to remove tools. And bear with me, my computer slowly lags out here. Alright, let's go to Trainers. And bear with me. Come on now. Trainers, give me my Zero Sick. Ah, the fun of technology. It's funny, it must be the screen recorder because it doesn't go this slow when I'm not, of course, recording. The game perfectly flows just fine. So we're going to add Zero Sick in now instead. There we go. Alright, let's get back to the deck description. Any day now. So we'll start off here. We have 2 dive balls, going to help me find my Clawitzer and Clawitzer BREAK evolutions, plus just Clauncher if I need to find that as well. 2 energy retrievals, bringing back a couple basic energy that I might happen to lose during the match. Escape rope. Now, something I have to keep in mind is I'm going to be doing a lot of rotating every turn. I'm probably going to be doing a switch out because I want to have Clawitzer BREAK in the active spot to use lock on, but of course next turn I want something going to hit a little harder to gain that extra 120. So escape rope is one way that it can happen, except I just realized I can't really use escape rope if I've used lock on the opponent because it's going to eliminate the lock on. But after my, for example, say Mega Altaria-EX gets an attack off, I can then use the escape rope to bring my Clawitzer BREAK back up and then use lock on and then do another type of retreat. So, alright, escape rope is going to have a purpose. I've got 2 Evo Sodas here to help evolve up into the higher forms. It's going to help with the Clauncher evolving into Clawitzer or Clawitzer BREAK. It's also going to help me evolve the 2 EX Pokemon as well. I was going to put Wally in the deck until I realized Wally will not actually help that much because it does not work on Pokemon EX. It could help me get either Clawitzer or Clawitzer BREAK into play quicker, but I want to have more options for any of my Pokemon to evolve, so plus I've got dive balls to find those Pokemon and put them into hand anyhow. I've got 2 Professor's Letters to find 2 basic energy out of my deck, a couple of Super Rods to shuffle back 3 in any combination of Pokemon and basic energy into my deck. So as I say many times, you'll see I'm running Sycamore right below there. I always hate having a hand of stage 2 Pokemon with the basics in play but no stage 1s and Sycamore, because the temptation is to play Sycamore, discard your hand, and draw into those stage 1s, but I've just got rid of the stage 2 Pokemon. However, if I do have the Super Rod, I can shuffle those stage 2s back into the deck and maybe pick them up on a later turn. I've got 1 switch card, another option to maneuver my Pokemon around for free. I've got 2 Ultra Balls, and I've said this many times, Professor's Letter, play that to get 2 basic energy. Play your Ultra Ball, discard those 2 energy, find a Pokemon. Play Energy Retrieval, bring those 2 energy back in hand. You gain 2 energy, 1 Pokemon, you burn through 3 trainer cards, helping to thin the deck out a little bit and getting those resources that you need and the Pokemon to put them onto. Finally, we have 2 Versus Seekers to bring back some supporters I'll be using. As I always say, you want to have at least 1 Lysandre in the deck, maneuver the opponent's Pokemon around, and I could do that to bring up something that might be weak to Fairy or Grass, and then use Lock On of Clawitzer BREAK, leave that locked in the active spot. Unless they have a switch or an escape rope or something like that, they can't retreat, and then next turn bring up whatever I have to do super effective damage, and bam, double the damage of the attack, add 120. I'm thinking we're going to get some pretty decent knockouts. For another switch option, this is from the Generations expansion, Olympia, switch your active Pokemon with a benched Pokemon, and if you do, heal 30 damage from the Pokemon that you move to the bench. So not only is this a nice way to switch, it is a way to heal as well. Of course, it does take your supporter for the turn, but if I have no other supporter to play, I can go ahead and freely use her. I have a Pokemon Center Lady for healing purposes, which might help with the powerful gain of Altaria-EX if I can't get the Mega Evolution into play just yet. It's going to heal another 30, plus boost the power up to 90 for that. So actually, you'll do 90 and heal 90. That's kind of cool. And Pokemon Fan Club, instead of Bridget this week, because Bridget does not help you find multiple Pokemon EX, whereas Pokemon Fan Club finds 2 basics of any kind. Bridget would find either 3 basic Pokemon, non-EX, so 3 Clawitzer, or 1 of the basic EXs, so I'd rather go with getting 2 of either kind of basic Pokemon. There is that Sycamore, discarding my hand and drawing 7 new cards. I've got 2 Skylas in the deck, helping me find whatever other trainer card I might happen to need for that turn and put it right into hand. Anything but a supporter, I can then play that card. And there's that Zero Sick. Now the reason I have this in here, I wasn't going to put it in at first, but I do have, as you'll see, the Spirit Links for the Mega Evolution Pokemon. And if I want to have them get free retreat back if need be, I want to be able to put a Float Stone on them. But after I have Mega Evolved, the tool is still stuck on them and I would have no way to eliminate that. But Zero Sick allows you to remove from either yourself or the opponent a Pokemon tool or special energy card attached. So if it turns out that I don't need to remove my own tool, I can use this on the opponent, of course, as well. And I got 2 Fairy Gardens as the stadiums for the deck. Since I have Fairy Energy in here, this is another option for free retreat. I can put that onto, well, for example, I can play this. If the Mega Altaria-EX has the Wonder Energy or even just a basic Fairy Energy, it can freely retreat into the Clawitzer or the Clawitzer BREAK, which can use Lock On, and if I have a Float Stone on Clawitzer BREAK, I can free retreat that one back into the Mega Altaria-EX. So some good options for free switching around of the Pokemon. The fully evolved forms of each Pokemon this week has a 2 energy retreat cost, so I'd be losing a lot of energy if I don't have these free retreat options. I do have the energy retrieval, but eventually those are going to wear out. I've only got 2 of them in the deck. And there are the 2 Spirit Links for Altaria. I've got 2 Spirit Links for Sceptile. And the final tools are 2 Float Stones, as I just mentioned, for free retreat for whichever Pokemon I attach these to. That is going to be the the Clawitzer BREAK deck called Break Lock, featuring 14 Pokemon, 32 trainer cards, and 14 energy. Let's hop into a battle right now in Pokemon TCG Online and see how well we can get this lock-on strategy to work against my opponents. Alright, my opponent has been located. Wano Garcia with a Lightning deck, which is kind of a problem because one of our main Pokemon attackers, the Altaria-EX, is weak to Lightning. But we can, of course, hope to evolve into Mega Altaria-EX, at which point we become weak to Metal instead of Lightning. So we're calling for the first turn of the game. We're going to start off with a nice, decent amount of basic Pokemon, or 1. And the opponent does have 1 as well, so no mulligans this time around. We've got Sceptile-EX. I do have Ultra Ball and an energy retrieval, so I can use Skyla to find myself a Professor's Letter, use the 2 basic energy, or find 2 basic energy, discard those using the Ultra Ball, bring those energy back into hand, so we're doing okay-ish right now. The question is, what Pokemon shall I locate with that Ultra Ball? I'm thinking, might as well start with the Clawitzer, try to get that lock-on strategy started up. We do have an Escape Rope in hand, we can use that to maneuver some Pokemon around if necessary. Does the opponent have anything to start up on their bench? That is the question. And the answer is pending. So I do have, as I say, Skyla. I can get myself a second Pokemon in play. Versus Seeker, I can bring back Skyla as well for the next turn and find another useful trainer card. Not sure what I would want to go for. You know what? I could find 2 basic energy in a Grass and Fairy. Next turn, use Skyla to find the Fairy Garden, giving me free retreat on Sceptile. And I do have the Escape Rope, so as soon as I can get Clawitzer BREAK. Never mind, there's a Professor's Letter right there. So let's do that. I'm going to grab that, grab a Fairy and Grass. And I will play out the Ultra Ball, discard those 2 energy, and then use that energy retrieval, of course. Now, the only question is, I gotta decide what else do I want to get for Skyla when I use her. So we have our Clawitzer here. I could probably just use her to find Sycamore. Let's drop the Clawitzer. But first of all, let's go ahead and grab the Fairy Garden. I think is probably the best. Yeah, we'll do that. Grab the Fairy Garden, we will bring back the 2 energy that we just lost and attach one of them to the Sceptile-EX. I guess I'll go with the grass, because that does provide enough energy for one of his attacks. And that is about it that we're going to do for now, so we'll end the turn. Now, they could roar us out with 1 energy, but I have the escape rope, so I can easily go ahead and switch my Pokemon back around. And it looks like they could go for flop for 10, though. It's going to be nice. They didn't attack. Interesting strategy. Not sure I understand it. So let's go ahead and dive ball for a Clawitzer. We will drop that onto our bench Pokemon. Evolving up, we'll attach the Fairy Energy to Sceptile to power up for the attack. And let's go ahead and versus Seeker, grab ourselves Skyla, play Skyla to find Sycamore. Hopefully he's in the deck, because if not, then I gotta think of something else on the fly. I get Skyla for another Skyla. You know what? I jinxed it! Sycamore's not in here. So, that being the case, now what do I want to do? I can go ahead and grab... I can get the Evo Soda. So then, let me think. I can evolve up into Mega Sceptile-EX right now, but I'd rather do the damage. I'm going to wait and evolve next turn. I want to get off the Unseen Claw, getting a KO on the Shinx, and hopefully drawing Sycamore out of the prizes. I could have considered adding a second Sycamore into the deck this week, but a little too late for that now, unfortunately. As Mareep with 60 HP comes up, it's going to be a one-hit KO unless they can evolve this, and it's going to win me the game unless they can, unless they could get another Pokemon on their bench. But they do have the Evo Soda, so Flaffy is on the active spot now. It could ram me for a massive... Never mind! Keep playing all those cards and interrupting my strategies and my speaks. Oh, I like this! Now, it's going to hurt me, but they have the ability Shocking Light. They can put 3 damage counters on an opposing Pokemon EX. So, as I've said many times, I don't like to use Pokemon EX. I like to use the lesser Pokemon. The only reason I'm using them this week is because it's the only way to make use of Clawitzer's Mega Boost ability. So, I'm kind of okay with the fact that I'm going to be taking added damage for using Pokemon EX. But, question is, what do I evolve up into? Well, we do have the free retreat option, and here's the thing. I'm going to go ahead and Evo Soda. Here's what I'm planning to do. I'm going to evolve up into Clawitzer BREAK. And I'm going to retreat, not for free, the Sceptile-EX. I'm going to retreat for 1 energy. It's going to be the Fairy Energy. Because next turn, I can retrieve that back and attach it to the Clawitzer BREAK. No, I should do that this turn. Did I attach an energy yet? I did. Alright, I messed this up. What I should have done is attach another energy to the Clawitzer BREAK, because I need to attach energy for free retreat. Let me think here. Well, I can retrieve the energy right now anyway. Might as well do that. I'll bring that back in hand, but I can't play it because I did attach the grass energy. So the strategy was going to be pretty cool, but unfortunately I did mess it up. Although, if they don't have another Pokemon on their bench, I can use the Escape Rope. So I've now used Lock On. The Ampharos cannot retreat. Next turn, whatever damage I do to it is going to be increased by 120. So don't play a bench Pokemon. I'll just have to attach 1 more energy to Sceptile-EX to do Unseen Claw for 60 plus 120 more. Alright, I managed to pull this back around unless they add a bench Pokemon. So what is my opponent going to do now? They can use that Shocking Light, of course, put 30 more damage on Sceptile-EX. Not quite enough energy to... Wait, they're going to get a bench Pokemon now. No, I was so close to get some cool strategies off. Wait, they flip tails. They might not have anything else to put on the bench. Alright then. Now then. If I could get a switch card. I do have Versus Seeker. I can use Skyla to find that switch card. I think let's just do that. Alright, Skyla. Get over here. I need you. Don't abandon me yet, Skyla. Alright, we'll play her out. Grab myself the switch. Wherever that might happen to be. I was going to say, don't tell me that's a prize as well. So with the Ampharos EX locked into the active spot, it cannot evade this incoming attack. Just going to attach a Fairy Energy onto Sceptile-EX. And go for the powerful Unseen Claw. Should be 180 damage. Down it goes. No more Shocking Light for you. Now, come on, give me my Sycamore. I want Sycamore. Yes! Alright, Sycamore is in hand. Alright then, now I can do the Escape Rope, put Clawitzer BREAK back to the active spot, drop the Fairy Garden, play Sycamore out, lock on, prevent the Zapdos from retreating. Alright, it was a bit of a tense situation there, because I messed up the order of cards to play out. So, sometimes I do that. Well, I win that anyway, but sometimes I do that. I don't think of enough steps ahead of time, and I kind of mess things up. But I managed to pull it back around. The opponent knew that they were done. But let's see if we can get Mega Altaria a chance to shine in this week's video. My next opponent has been found. Owned by Pain. A Psychic, Water, Dragon, and Colorless deck. Now, I'm going to be full disclosure here. I'm hoping to get some decent content for the video this week. Many things are working against me to provide that. What I mean is, on half the matches I'm doing, I am not getting any cards that I need. You know, many times I need Sycamore, it happens to be a prize card. I can't count how many times Sycamore has been a prize card this week. And the other half the time, when I do get the deck set up nice and decent, the opponents forfeit after 1 or 2 prizes. Why would you play a game if you're going to quit that fast? Really? Anyway, this will be my best attempt to try to get a decent match using Mega Altaria-EX and the lock-on of Clawitzer and Clawitzer BREAK, I mean. But it depends on what the game decides to give me to work with. And sorry if I sound very annoyed and pessimistic, but I am totally annoyed and pessimistic because it is hard as a content creator to provide a decent video showing off like a deck strategy that I put together if the opponent will not let you do it. You know, I'm the kind of person that likes to play out the matches till the end, even if I'm losing, because what if the opponent's going for a daily challenge, try to get enough damage with certain type of Pokemon or something. It doesn't seem there's a lot of sportsmanship on the opposing side in the matches that I'm getting. I don't know if it's just bad luck, I don't know if this is the way the game is supposed to be played, but either way, I gotta work with what the game gives me. So the opponent is taking 15 years to choose their active Pokemon. Finally, there we go. Let's get this match underway, please. Bench your Pokemon. I have Dive Ball in hand. I can get myself a Clawitzer. Really nothing much more to work with. I do have 2 basic Grass Energy to start powering up for the powerful gain, if nothing else. And let's sit back and talk about how your day is going, everybody, because we got some time as the opponent decides what to put on the bench. So, what have you been up to? I woke up, had myself some breakfast, grabbed a quick shower so I can, you know, pretty myself up for the video, sit down, and start recording this. And I've been here for over an hour trying to record some decent matches. The only one so far was when I was using the Sceptile-EX. Are you bored yet? And they didn't even have any Pokemon to put on their bench. Okay. Now, let's get the match underway. Of course, they're taking the first turn, so we have another 10 minutes to just chat. So what are your plans for the weekend? Got anything cool going up? Any trips planned? Any last minute? Would there still be summer vacation going on right now? We are getting into September. School should be coming back in, I believe. Of course, I'm out of school myself, so I lose track of exactly when the school year starts and ends, but either way, let's not talk about school. School is boring. School is dull. School is important, though. But we're here playing a card game. Let's focus on that. I'm going to Dive Ball and thin the deck out, grab myself a Clawitzer, and we'll start powering up for the powerful gain of Altaria-EX. Now, do I want to put the Spirit Link? I kind of do, because if I find Fairy Energy, I'll have free retreat with a Fairy Garden. If they have a Team Flare Hyper Gear, I'd rather not lose the ability to put a tool to my Pokemon, plus whatever the negative effects are, either the Head Ringer or the Jamming Net. And a Psychic-type Tentacool played to the bench on the opposing side. That was a pretty quick play. Finally, they're getting stuff moving now. Farewell Letter ability of Unknown. Discard the Unknown and draw a different card instead. If you're ever not sure what basic Pokemon to put into a deck, I would say Unknown is a good one, because it gives you options for basics, plus it just basically you can discard it and draw a new card. We see an EX. Alright, fair enough. We do have EXs on our side this week, of course. Mewtwo-EX and the Lugia with pressure ability. We could see Lugia break. Ooh, double colorless. I'd like that, please. Now, what is your attacks again? Photon Wave does 30 and reduce damage by 30. Cyburn can do 120. Alright. Now then, what else will my opponent play out? Are you as excited as I am? Never mind, the turn is over. So we have another basic grass we can play to Altaria-EX to power up the powerful gain. And since that's the only attack we can go for, why not? 30 basic damage, and no other energy we can make use of. Of course, the herbal energy attaches only to grass-type Pokemon. And that Cyburn's going to be looking kind of... Never mind! Forget the Cyburn, now we have the Psychic Infinity. This does 30 damage, or 30 more damage times the amount of energy attached to both active Pokemon. So what has the highest retreat cost? The Lugia does. If I knock this thing out, they can bring the Mewtwo up and I'm sure get the KO on Altaria-EX. So the best bet is to bring up a high retreat cost Pokemon in Lugia. Now pressure reduces by 20, does it not? It does, so I can go for 10 damage at least. And slowly whittle away at this Lugia. If they have a double colorless, they can retreat the Lugia and bring up the Mewtwo 10 plus 30 times. So that's going to do 160 with that Mewtwo-EX, or the Mega Mewtwo-EX. Not a fan of that. But there's no way we can one-shot that thing either. And Fan Club is played. Going to find 2 more basic Pokemon out of the deck. Unknown and a Giratina-EX. So that's going to be annoying. If they can... Now, what's the ability again? Come on, play that. I want to see it. Get that Unknown out of here. Show me the Giratina. Alright, don't show me the Giratina. Thank you. Whatever. So, we can really bring Lysandre back. That's not going to help us at all. That's powerful gain. I kind of need to get Sycamore at this point. How much you want to bet? Sycamore is a prize card. So, my opponent is slowly playing their cards out. You have 1 energy added to the Lugia. 1 more and they can retreat. Thank you! I needed a new hand. Of course, I would have preferred to play that Fairy Garden first, but I will take 4 new cards. They're going to be so helpful to me. At least we got Skyla. What is my best play to make? Ultra Ball. Well, let's go ahead and Ultra Ball for the Mega Altaria. Get rid of the Grass Energy and the Mega Sceptile-EX. Mega Altaria is here, although... Should I get the Clawitzer BREAK? We do have a 1 retreat cost for the Altaria-EX. I'm going to get Clawitzer BREAK. We'll evolve up into it. And we're going to use Skyla to find a Professor's Letter. Right there. There's only 1. Alright, good to know. I do have energy retrieval options, though. So we're going to play that Professor's Letter, grab ourselves a water, and we'll get the Fairy. We're going to need that for the Mega Altaria. Alright, and we're going to retreat Altaria-EX. I want to make use of the Lock-On. So Lock-On is fired off. Lugia cannot retreat, and any damage done to it next turn is going to be increased by 120. Which will be reduced by 20 thanks to the pressure. That Mewtwo-EX is going to be kind of dangerous. Here's what I kind of need to do. I need to use Lysandre to bring the Mewtwo up. I want to lock onto it. I got to prepare for Mega Altaria. Another launcher here. So, I'm going to attach this to the Altaria-EX. I'm going to Versus Seeker for Skyla and find Sycamore. And did we use all the Versus Seekers yet? Hang on. No, there is still 1 left in there. I gotta use her to find Sycamore. Wherever he might happen to be hiding. Thank you for not being a prize card today, sir. Kinda need that. So with him in hand, I can play next turn, get 7 new cards. We're going to lock on once again to Lugia, keep it active. And let's see if random luck gives me what I need with that Sycamore. I got to get the Mega Altaria into play. If I can get a Versus Seeker and grab Lysandre, I'm going to lock onto the Mewtwo-EX. One more energy added to the Lugia. Of course, they cannot retreat unless if they play a Switch card or Escape Rope or something, then we're kind of in trouble. But here we go. Evo Soda. Might as well evolve up into the Mega Altaria. We do have that Spirit Link attached, of course. Give me that. And that's the only one in the deck, of course. So there we go. Mega Evolution. Let's go and play out the Sycamore and find 7 useful cards. Yes! Versus Seeker. Alright, energy retrieval as well. So I'm going to grab these 2 basic grass energy. I'll attach 1 to the Mega Altaria. Now, next turn... How do I want to play this out? Next turn I can Versus Seeker for Lysandre, bring up the Mewtwo, lock onto it. We don't have special energy yet. I kind of want that. We're going to keep the Lugia active. Now we could just thin the deck out. I'm going to evolve with Evo Soda, the Clawitzer into Clawitzer. Alright, and that's probably all I'm going to play from hand. Let's just go ahead and use the lock on once again, locking the Lugia in the active spot. That's not so much of a threat. Now hang on, it does more damage to Pokemon EX. Double damage, yep. So you can hit me for 60. Now is the time we need to bring that Mega Mewtwo active. So let's grab that Versus Seeker, grab ourselves the Lysandre, and lock onto it. We'll bring it up first and then lock onto it. And that's about it. We're just going to use the lock on. You're welcome to go for the KO, but then we're going to do 120 on top of our basic 100 damage. So it's definitely going to be enough to bring this thing down. An Ultra Ball is played. Alright, so 2 cards being discarded and finding themselves which Pokemon. Would they have been setting up? Oh, never mind. I was going to say, would they have been setting up for the Lugia break? It doesn't look like it. Remoraid is played. Next turn they can go ahead and evolve into Octillery for more draw support. But with that knockout of Clawitzer Break, we do bring up our Mega Altaria, which is going to get the KO with that lock-on boost. Alright, next we see a Wonder Energy. That is kind of what I wanted, some added damage. And let's go ahead and shuffle cards back in. We're going to grab the, where is it, Clawitzer Break. We'll grab the Energy and just add another Clawitzer back into the deck too. Shuffling those all back in. And let's go right ahead and Mist Purge for 130 plus 120. A nice 250 damage, one-shot KOing the Mega Mewtwo-EX. If nothing else, I'm happy with how that turned out. Now, is this considered an added effect? 60 plus. It says, with Wonder Energy attached, prevent all effects of attacks done. Or is that just a basic damage increase? We're going to find out in a moment. Because it's going to do 120 to us if it is not considered an effect. So let's see what you got here, Lugia. We did draw that Sceptile-EX out of our prizes as well, so I can play that to the bench and throw a Spirit Link onto it. It does 120. Okay, so the added damage is not considered an effect of the attack. Let's drop the Sceptile-EX. Spirit Link onto it. We'll put a Grass Energy to it. That's about all I'm going to play. So if I go for the Mist Purge, I will heal 30. Bring me down to 90. They can bring me up to 210 maximum. So I think we're okay here. Healing 30 from us. Doing it. Oh, it already had damage, right? I was like, how did that get the knockout? Never mind. Alright. So Mega Altaria-EX is pulling through. And finally, this is a decent match. Alright, I want to say thank you to Owned by Pain for sticking in here this long, at least. You're welcome to forfeit now if you really want to. I have shown off the strategy of lock-on and doing more damage. I didn't really show the Mega Boost, but I could do that now. I have 2 Special Energy in hand, of course. But you can go ahead and confuse and poison me, except those are effects. So that has no effect. And we do see Fan Club. Might as well play that out. Grab a couple more basic Pokemon. Looks like only 2 left. And there we go. There's the forfeit. That's what I'm talking about. People quitting before the match is completely done. hard to show off really good content, but at least you saw everything in play. So there you get to see the power of the lock-on attack in play, courtesy of Clawitzer BREAK. Kind of unfortunate that it did have to go down against that Mega Mewtwo-EX, but its sacrifice was not in vain. As you saw, Mega Altaria managed to get the KO thanks to that lock-on, boosting the damage by 120. So in a deck like this, you got to consider, like I said, the revolving door sort of an aspect. You want to be able to make sure you can retreat your Pokemon, or in a case like that, be willing to sacrifice it. But if you can keep it in play and just keep recycling, like for example, 1 fairy energy is all it takes for lock-on to work. So if you have a fairy garden in play, you can give the Clawitzer BREAK fairy energy. And I think, as I said at the beginning of the video talking about the deck, if I focused more on just Mega Altaria, that might have worked a little bit better, because you'll be able to attach your special energy from the Mega Boost ability and thereby powering up the Mist Purge, because it's going to have special energy attached to your Mega Altaria-EX. But that is a wrap for this week's Pokemon TCG Live Online match. And again, sorry that some of the matches are a little bit shorter, but it is hard to record decent footage, as I say, when the opponents forfeit so quickly. And I understand the reasoning. They want to get to another match that they have a chance to win, but it's on the winning side, it's kind of hard to really show off good content. And that's all I have to say about that. So next week, we will continue checking out the BREAK evolutions from Steam Siege. I'm currently taking a look at Clawitzer BREAK, Xerneas BREAK we looked at, and we didn't look at Talonflame yet, but we looked at Yanmega BREAK. So, if you have any requests for the remaining BREAK evolutions, those being Yveltal BREAK, Talonflame BREAK, Pyroar BREAK, or Hydreigon BREAK, let me know which one you'd like to see for next week, and I'll see what I can do about assembling a decent online deck and put together a cool strategy, maybe showing off some different aspects that people might not consider, and hopefully we'll get some longer lasting matches for next week's videos, but it is what it is. We'll play it out as it happens. So let me know what you think and which one you'd like to see for next week. Also, leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of the matches today and any improvements you have to make to this particular kind of a deck, so that if anyone wants to sort of recreate the idea I've started here, you can maybe give them some suggestions on how to improve it for their own online matches. And with that, we are going to wrap up this week's Pokemon TCG Live Online match. I'd like to say thank you for checking out this week's video and these battles, and Professor Chaz is signing off. I'll catch you next time.